You can select this audience of people who watch 50% of your music video, and if you keep running ads on the music video, or new people who watch your music video are going to get added to that audience. This is going to be a group of people who you can specifically target. Hey, so what I wanted to talk about today is distilling my secret sauce for ads in video format. There's going to be a link to this in the description of this video. I'm not going to get into certain very granular aspects. I just want to share the logic. So what you're going to do to start is you need to collect data, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to run an ad for video views with a music video or a performance video or something of that sort, something that people like genuinely want to watch. And it should probably be over 3 minutes long. When you're going to run that on Facebook, you'll run a minute-long variant on Instagram. And you run that for video views. Your targeting is going to be interest-based. The thing is, of course, that interest-based targeting is dramatically limited, and it's been dramatically limited for about a month now. I'm filming this in October of 2019, and it's about to get even more limited in January of 2020. So your interest-based targeting is nowhere near as effective as it was a few months ago, unfortunately. But you have to use it because you have to have a starting point, right? Because if you don't have any data to start with, okay? So you're going to run this ad. It's going to cost you like $50. You're going to get a decent amount of views on it. Once you clear about 1,000 views, ideally more, what you're going to do is you're going to do something called creating a custom audience. And so you do this in Facebook by going into your ads manager, audiences. You set up a custom audience, and you want it to be a custom audience of people who've watched 50% or 70% or even 95% if you have enough views of your video that you ran an ad on. And if you have multiple videos, you can select multiple videos. But essentially you want there to be more than, 250 people who've in this group that you're looking at, okay? And this is going to automatically update, right, every 3 to 5 days from what I understand. So you can select this audience of people who watch 50% of your music video, and if you keep running ads on the music video, or new people who watch your music video are going to get added to that audience. This is going to be a group of people who you can specifically target, right, for whatever. And if they watch half your video, that's like a ton of time on the internet, because if you look at like the viewership rates for videos, it looks like this. Like it cuts off after 5 seconds, right? And then like even like major bands, it'll frequently be less than 1% who watch 95% of the video. Which is crazy, but it's just not how people consume a lot of the time. Or they see it and they don't want to consume it at that point. So there's a huge dip in viewership after the 5-second mark, which is also part of how Facebook kind of inflates video views in a lot of ways. So you just have to be aware of that. Okay, so you're building a custom audience of people who watched at least 50%. If it's a shorter video, you can do a through play, which is about 15 seconds, I believe. So now you have this group of this amount of data. What you're going to do from that is you're going to build a lookalike audience, and you're going to do one for each country you're trying to target, okay? You cannot do all the countries in one audience. That messes up the data, because basically the lookalike audience is saying, so we have data on 500 people who watched 75% of your video. Cool. Well, we're gonna find the 1% of people in a country's population who have profiles and buying activity that's the most similar to that 500 people. So this 1%, in America, that's 3 million people already, right? And if you select a bunch of Western European countries and the US, which is, where a lot of these ads are going to be most profitable, if you select all those countries at once, it's going to meet, but like, let's say you're a US-based band, you're going to have a lot more people in the US targeted than in other countries, and that's counterproductive, basically. So one lookalike audience per country you're trying to target, okay? You're going to take those lookalike audiences, and you're going to turn those into what's called a saved audience. So let's just say you're just trying to promote yourself in the US. So you build a lookalike audience, which is again a data-driven set of people that updates regularly, right? That looks like the 500 people who are already the most interested in your music. So you have that, but if it's the US only, that's still going to be a few million people, right? Okay, what you're going to do is you're actually going to add some limitations. And you can do that with the interest-based targeting. And yes, the interest-based targeting is very broad, but it's still a good way to cut out some of the chaff. So if you're like a smart black metal band, you might have your lookalike that's a lookalike of the people who watch 70% of your video, and then on top of that you'll say, look, I also want to make sure these people like Emperor or Dimmu Borgir. And that's going to cut it down dramatically but you want that because that's removing a lot of the messy data, because a 2.3 million person audience is still a huge audience. So you do that sort of thing, reduce, and now you have a sick audience to target, okay? And that is how you do your audience targeting.